compared to someone who is an up-and-comer in the region, such as Synnister. I think, I can't exactly remember when he was first ranked, but it was only a couple of years ago.
I believe it was Q2. I know he was just recently ranked, but I think you're right. It's within the last couple of years he's kind of put himself on there. And I've known Deltaforce for so long, I can head and not feel guilty about it. So, bro's been around for we've all been around for a long time, but he's one of the longest standing members of the Jersey PR for a minute. So let's see how it goes out here. As a wise man once said, losers final, winner moves on, the loser goes home. So let's see what's going to come out on top here.
For sure, going in pretty quickly, there is going to be some good damage here for Synnister. Opting for the Hadouken off stage here versus Deltaforce, and the Shoryu not going to kill off the top just yet. Deltaforce coming back down a little bit deep to recover, utilizing the hero spin, now coming to center stage, going for the Nair, just as I said, utilizing the boomerang into the F tilt here against Synnister's shield. Coming back in, and Synnister air dodging to avoid the bomb. Not going to avoid that second one though, but that is going to be the end of the stock pretty quickly. And then just as quickly as it came, that is Deltaforce's stock gone. Back down to even teams.
Yeah, real great job there from Synnister, even in closing up the gap. And Deltaforce, again, like a sharpshooter from 3-point range, with how well those bombs were placed. So again, we're seeing a lot of what this matchup is probably going to look like here. A steady diet of projectiles. Deltaforce is going to want to be feasting on those linear recoveries, and Synnister is going to be wanting to apply as much shield pressure as possible.
For sure, big Tatsu coming out from Synnister just as Deltaforce is able to get so much damage here off stage. That Shoryu coming out, not going to take the stock just yet. Deltaforce able to come to the other side of the stage to recover, but pretty quickly though, that stock is going to be gone yet again thanks to Synnister. Now Deltaforce trying to find something with an F-tilt here underneath of the platform with the bomb, trying to send it onto Synnister though, and that is not going to be the recovery that Synnister wanted, unfortunately. So stock going to Deltaforce in that scenario.
That technically counts as a 0 to death. Put him on the board, baby. All right, but here we go. A bit of a scrap up close here. Again, when Synnister's able to get these low percent combos in, again, Link is just such a lanky guy. He's going to take a lot of damage from close. Ooh, but even with the slow start up of Boomerang, that's going to be enough for Deltaforce to get a little bit of a combo out of that. Now, once again, in the driver's seat on the ledge.
For sure, wonderful stuff that he's able to send out the boomerang preemptively in order to extend a lot of his combos and the damage. Getting here off of Synnister, coming back from the ledge, able to send out the bomb, and now Synnister trying to shield pressure and successfully shield pressuring, because that is going to be game number 1 to Synnister.
Yep, great stuff there from Synnister. Again, Ken is very, very strong when he's able to get those combos up close on you. And we're seeing a lot of how this is going to shake out. Both characters at the ledge are going to be able to take advantage of some pretty mediocre recoveries for the most part. So whoever's last man standing on the ledge is going to be huge here.
Absolutely, that bomb coming out clutch here and actually going to spell out the stock yet again from Synnister. Oh, no, wait, that was the replay. I'm so sorry.
We're so locked in. And
I was like, is that happening already? We just started. Anyways.
How did we get here already? That's crazy.
I was like, did my stream glitch? Anyways, coming back in, and that is going to be a real 0 to death though for Synnister coming in versus Deltaforce. Unfortunately, not able to come back as he was way too far to recover. Now, coming back in, Deltaforce determined to get as much damage as possible here versus Synnister. Sending him off stage, going for the F-tilt, going to get hit with the Shoryu as he recovers, but coming in to just continue this damage, not getting the up air in that scenario as Synnister opts to drift to the lower platform and gets the Tatsu versus Deltaforce.
And here we go, back in an even game here. Again, the stocks are starting to melt off here. It looks like both players are kind of starting to adapt to what we got going on here. And even with his back in the corner here, Synnister is able to rack up so much damage off that one parry. Again, the Shotos are so good off punish. And here we go, the Shoryuken, missing no time, sub 50. Leftovers are still cold in the middle. The game's going by, so
so quick there, able to utilize such a good advantage state there from Synnister, getting one parry and then just able to extend that combo as long as possible versus Deltaforce. Deltaforce just trying to jump in underneath the ledge, or underneath the platform rather, but going to be sent off stage versus Synnister as he just keeps setting the goalpost back farther and farther. Utilization of the bomb to recover. However, that is going to be a pretty quick game on the board there.
Yeah, that's gonna be Zoinks for me, Scoob. That was just kind of came off the rails a little bit quick there. But if you're Synnister, you know, you'll take that in strides there. So let's see if Deltaforce can make the necessary adjustments here. Gonna have to go the long way about it. And again, there's only so much you can do here. You know, you have to engage with Ken up close at some point. You know, but this character is just so good at the ledge here. You know, Deltaforce only has so many options to get back. And again, that up tilt, we've been, you know, seeing it for years. That character is really, really good when he's able to get his hand. See what Deltaforce has left in the tank here.
Yeah, going into this potential last game scenario here for Deltaforce, he really have to pull out all the stops, and you can see him going for a lot of aerials there, but unfortunately going to get punished by Synnister, trying to go for a nair there, and then opting to sit in shield against the Tatsu, but finding himself off stage now, recovering here, and then coming back in and just sort of jumping around the platform here as he's trying to regain his footing here versus Synnister.
Yeah, again, trying to utilize those platforms as well. That's been kind of like a, you know, that's where you can really get your damage in here, is how well can you carry those onto the biplats. But Deltaforce just wasn't able to get it going there. And again, very familiar situation if you're Deltaforce, Pearl. You're trying to fight your way out of the corner, and the reversal from Ken is just so strong.
Yes, absolutely. And I just want to point out there really quickly that Synnister has been air dodging away or rolling away from a lot of these F-tilts coming out from Deltaforce. He knows that that is a strong move. And then the way that he is able to reverse the situation and get his own stock of that, absolutely wonderful gameplay there from Synnister. The way that he was able to reverse that situation, getting the top of that Shoryu and just opting to send Deltaforce to the other platform here. Coming back in against the bomb, utilizing focus in order to return here, and then just getting so much off of this Deltaforce air dodging down because he does not want to deal with the Shoto at the ledge, but he is going to get Shoryu yet again, and that is another stock on the board for Synnister.
Yep, Deltaforce kind of in a situation where you have to make something happen there, goes for the aggressive up B at the ledge, which he's known to do, and it's going to get punished here. And once again, all right, I fell for that, man. I got crossed up. You got me.
All right, wonderful utilization of the Tatsu in order to sort of avoid the bomb there from Deltaforce. Deltaforce coming back in, trying to get the up air. However, Synnister has caught on pretty quickly, and he is jumping away from anything that Deltaforce is trying to do. Able to come back in and get so much damage off of that nair coming out from Deltaforce, able to put some damage on and sending Synnister off stage. However, that was a clean game there too. Synnister able to find Deltaforce's habits and just utilize them against him. Finding those places where he put himself in disadvantage with the F-tilt, looking for when he tried to jump away from Synnister as well. The utilization of his aerials in order to try to space out his movements, and then Synnister was just able to sort of find it like a dog with a bone and just hold on and not let go. So absolutely wonderful stuff from Synnister for that game. He will be moving on in bracket today.
Yeah, no, the follow-up game was just absolutely insane. You know, all it takes is that single up tilt, and you can really get your money's worth out of it. Then, unfortunately for Deltaforce, you know, just wasn't quite working out for him there. So we're going to take a look at the highlights here. Again, a lot to like here. You know, some very interesting character variety that you might not necessarily see in other parts of the country here tonight. So, again, the Shoryuken is... not all moves are created equal. That's certainly not one of them. But again, that you just see how consistent Synnister is at being able to get those combos when it matters. You know, it really played a part in being able to close out that game relatively easily for him.
We've been saying when it matters, but it was really whenever Deltaforce put himself in disadvantage. I really do think that Synnister was able to call out a lot of those bad options. Not necessarily bad options, but really the ones which put Deltaforce in a vulnerable position, such as him trying to nair in place against Synnister's shield, because really there's a whole lot out of shield that someone like Synnister can get versus Deltaforce. So really, absolutely, like, awesome thing to see Synnister able to go for those. Deltaforce not able to call out some of his habits, unfortunately, such as the rolling back and forth between the F-tilt coming out from coming back from Deltaforce. So I think in reviewing this VOD, I would like to see some sort of like, okay, I'll do this next time, from the players as they rewatch these.
Yeah, definitely a lot to gain here. And also to point out, that's the first 3-0 we've had of the night. So this streak, unfortunately, has been broken in terms of getting the maximum capacity out of a match here. So Synnister now going to get a chance to run it back against Jackal in grand finals. So really exciting stuff. We'll see if Jackal's going to be able to close out on the winner's side, or if Synnister can run the gauntlet and bring it back in 2 sets. So.
It has been a long night at Fusion for these folks, and I actually heard in the announcements, I don't know